Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 16th of December, 2015. Hope you're having a good week. We had a good morning, although the market certainly died off as expected ahead of the Fed after gapping up for the session. We'll take a look at the intraday action here in a moment. Here's a look at the ES front month futures daily contract. This is the S&P index in futures format, which is the proper technical format to look at the markets. And you can see we did close up, but a lot of it was a gap, basically flat for the session from where we opened. We'll show you that in a bit. Crude oil finally had a positive day by 42 cents, but that only brings it back up to 36.7250. Here's a look at that right here. Hit the 10-day moving average at the high and came back down. So still trapped and very near the lows of what we've seen of late. Gold was down 3, coming back near the recent lows. S&P was up 21.47. NDX was up 27.17. SOX was up 10 points, which is really nothing for the SOX. Biotechs were up 95, getting back above the 10-day moving average for the first time in 2 weeks. The VIX closed down 178 to 2095. Trend got a low close at 0.74, and be aware this we've had some higher numbers drop off of the trend 10-day moving average, now back under 1 at 0.97. Remember, when you get a 10-day moving average of the trend under 0.85, that's usually a sell signal for the market. So I'm counting back here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't really have too many high numbers dropping off, so we'd have to get some very low numbers coming up here to really get that in that territory. NASDAQ volume for the session: 1.85 billion shares, down from the almost 2 billion we saw the day before. Still good, but as you'll see with the intraday action, we didn't go anywhere. Today, the advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 1308, and on the New York plus 1807, the biggest up breadth day since October, basically. That's after yesterday, where we were up a little bit in the markets, but more stocks were down than up. Google strangely lost $2.45. Apple lost almost $2. Apple's in some trouble here if it breaks that 108 level. Amazon up 73 cents. That's basically a non-event for Amazon. I think it's interesting that some of these bigger stocks didn't do anything despite the gap up in the market. Netflix is another one, down 2 points for the session. All right, let's take a look at the intraday action here. This is the ES with the 5-minute candles. Again, you can see the gap up, pushed higher for about 20 minutes. And that established most of the range for the day, and we closed basically in that range as well by the end of the session. So never did break into the gap, but basically a dead flat session ahead of the Fed as we expected. The NASDAQ side, the NQs did drift a little bit into the gap, but not much. Closed just a little bit lower than where they opened, but it's not a big deal. All right, so what do we have here for tomorrow? Well, the big news, of course, is the Fed announcement is coming at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We've been waiting for this one. Obviously, most people expecting a quarter-point rate hike out of the Fed for this meeting. So we'll see what we get. We also have housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell. We've got capacity utilization and industrial production 15 minutes before the bell. We have crude oil inventories an hour into the market, and that won't matter. And then the Fed rate announcement. And then we're on to Thursday, which I expect to be the better trading day of the week. We'll be looking in the lab when the Fed announcement occurs to see if we get the usual 3-wave phenomenon. And separate from that, if we don't get it there, we'll also be looking to see if there's an options unraveling move. Obviously, this is Wednesday of options expiration week. It's a triple expiration week. So you could get the options unraveling move starting after the first hour of trading, but I think that would be very unusual given the fact that it's such a big Fed meeting. I think everybody's going to hold those options maybe even into Thursday until they really see what the market reaction is. Nobody wants to give up their protection. It's an interesting thing going into Christmas here with the first Fed rate increase likely to happen in a long time, and yet an options expiration as well. So we're going to go over this weekend with no less protection on the market than we usually have. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you have not taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. If you have not taken a look, we have a special running through the end of the year. You can still write off the educational mentorship programs that we have in 2015, and they'll take you 6 months into 2016, including all of our trade calls and everything else that comes with it. Have a great trading Wednesday. Let's see how this Fed meeting does.